Hi, welcome back to this series explaining how to use the Koren Lev Ladaat Chumash, the Nagel edition, which is made for young adults, a Chumash designed specifically for young adults. Last week I introduced the concept where the idea came from, and I want to introduce this week the individual set. So this is on Breshit. You can get on every, Breshit, Shmos, Vayeira, Bamidbar, Dvarim. So let's do this series with, this way you also get an insight on the Parsha. So this week is Parshat Vayeira, and Sefer Breshis. So with the Lev Ladaat Chumash, at the end of each section, starting from the back, begin with the end in mind, right, is a section called Exploring Hashkafa. This is great because it brings out, in each Parsha, one major philosophical, fundamental hashkafic issue that really needs to be grappled with, or any teenager who's going to be thinking seriously about the Chumash is going to wonder. They're going to be thinking about this, and it's so much pedagogically more effective if the educator or even the teen studying the Chumash on their own realizes we address this topic, we're not afraid of it. And so I think the value of this section isn't even so much about what the answer is that we present or what's being given in this Exploring Hashkafa section, but rather the value itself is in the fact that it's addressed. So the question this week in Parshat Vayeira is the question of the message of the Akedah. Akedah is like one of the most challenging topics in the entire Torah. How could Avram sacrifice his own son? So the piece starts, the story of Akedah Yitzchak has gripped the attention of Jews for thousands of years. On its surface, it describes a great test of Avram's faith which he passed with flying colors, earning a great reward. But according to the Rambam, it's a proof of the clarity of prophecy. Could we imagine Avram going through with such an act where he's not 100% sure of God's command? So it deals with this topic. There's a full page on this, and it validates the experience of the student who's learning the Chumash, right? There's nothing more invalidating if a problem is not addressed. It's not talked about, right? And certainly with the way we think, in 2025, it's less about the response. It's more the fact that we know that it is being addressed. And there's several answers being presented here. And I think when one is educating on this, to turn towards the student and say, well, what do you think? What would be some answer that you would give? And I think also now with large language models such as ChatGPT and other things, people are able to explore even further and say, okay, this is an answer. I want to know what you think is an answer that might resonate more with me, someone who thinks more linearly or abstract or more spiritually. It's the beginning of a conversation, which actually I think is the motif of this entire set. It's using the Chumash as a grand conversation piece. Okay, see you soon.